Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
What's going on, guys? Logan JYA with my boy Chris, and he has been talking this deck up for a hot minute now. Chris, what are you going to be showing us today?
Bishbaalkin Ogdoadic FTK.
All right. Well, listen, we're going to talk about this deck specifically at the end, why this is the best variant to play. Before we get into it, Chris, anyone you want to shout out?
I'd like to shout out my friend Ben.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Also Logan.
Oh,
Great
cheers.
community, and the Hobby Shop.
All right, let's get into it.
So, for the monsters, we have
Yep.
each of the big Ogdoadics. So, Ogdoadibus, Amnesia, and Aaron. These two require 2 tributes to summon, and this requires 1 tribute. He's the best one because he's a board wipe, and each of these come up depending on the hand.
Okay.
But you need names. That's a big thing with this deck. Even if they're terrible to open,
Yeah.
you need to have some sort of name.
Gotcha.
And then we have Curse and Aliot.
Okay.
This card will let you play around Bestials, and this is your combo piece. It summons stuff from grave, and then summons 1 from grave.
And you only need one of each?
You only need 1 of each because you never want to open them.
Okay.
They can only be summoned from grave.
Got it.
All the Ogdoadics, actually. And then we have 3 Nunu.
Oh, yes. This one's kind of a starter, right?
This is the starter for the 1-card combo. This is traditionally the best one, but for the FTK, this card does not work.
Okay.
Because you would have 2 normals. And
So this is your backup plan then?
this is the backup plan, and that's what makes this deck extremely consistent. This card is really good for the deck because you can open FTK, or if you don't open FTK, you can open Nunu, which gives you really high consistency to have at least some sort of combo.
Gotcha.
Which is what a lot of Bishbaalkin decks struggle with, is not having a combo if they don't open FTK.
Got it.
And then we have 3 copies of Noya.
Yep.
This is a big part of the Nunu combo, but it's also one of the pieces needed for the FTK.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
And 1 Zoha. This is a level 4 normal that can be dumped off of Nunu.
Okay.
And that is really important for the deck for the combo that does not play the FTK.
Got it.
And then we have 1 copy of Part Naga and 1 copy of Lizdraw.
Right.
We play this card because it destroys, which procs Unchained Abomination, which will let us soul charge in the combo.
Nice.
And this card is level 5, but it also fits the other scale because you need to be able to pen 4.
Wow.
And then 1 copy of Masked Chameleon.
Yep.
This is one of the cards that does not function well with the FTK because it is a brick if you open it trying to FTK, but with the Nunu combo, it is 100% necessary. It's a level 4 tuner.
Yep.
And then 1 Alien Kid.
right.
Really old
So
card.
what's the deal with this guy?
This card puts a alien counter on any monster special summoned, and combined with another card in the extra deck that we will see, you cannot activate the effects of cards with an A counter, which is part of your end board if you don't open FTK.
Got it.
And then for the FTK card, we have 3 copies of Heradic Dragon of the Set. This card summons a normal dragon monster when tributed.
Okay.
And all the Ogdoadics tribute to summon themselves.
Got it. And you're able to tribute the dragons?
They are able to tribute the dragons, and this is a level 5 that can be normal without tributing.
Got it. Okay. So
And
this
that
is
is-
your other normal summon if you are going for the
Yes.
FTK.
And
Got it.
it's not searchable other than by a couple things we'll talk about later.
Got it.
And then the weirdest card in the deck is Dragon Core Hexer.
So that's the target to summon, right?
That is the target off of Esed because it is a level 8 normal dragon tuner with 0 that will become 0 attack and defense.
Okay.
And this and Masked Chameleon are like the opposite cards for each line. So we tried to optimize as much as possible to make it where you have the least amount of bricks.
Right.
But you do have to play both.
Got it.
If you want to play both combos. And then for some going second cards, we have 2 copies of Arima.
Okay.
Arima searches Lair of Darkness, and all of the big Ogdoadics, they tribute a card to summon themselves for cost. So you can like break boards with, even if they have negates because it's cost, which is really good for the deck.
Oh, yeah.
And a combo piece and a board breaker is Nibiru. We know why.
So
this
why do
card
you say
is good.
both? Why do you say both?
We need a small world light target, and a lot of cards in this deck are either level 4 or level 8, and they're all reptiles. And this is just weird enough where you can small world it away.
Perfect.
And then this card was in any other deck, it would be broken.
Snake Rain.
Send 4 from deck to grave after discarding 1. Card's fucking crazy. It's ridiculous. And then the 2-ofs, we have 2 Ogdoadic Water Lily.
Reborn, right?
No, this card actually Foolishes as its main effect.
Oh, Foolish, right.
And if you have 5 or more reptiles with different name, it reborns.
That's how it works.
And you need the 5 for the Nunu line, the 1 card, but you do not need the 5 for the FTK.
Got it.
And in most lists, it's a 3-of, but in this deck, since you really are not using it as a control deck, it's only a 2-of.
Got it.
1 Servant Strike. I like this card because Nalia searches a spell trap, Stratos's, and it sucks when you open a Water Lily and Serpent Strike. So it gives you another line if you want to like make your board stronger, so it can summon an Ogdoadic from grave.
Got it.
And then some consistency for the FTK. We have 3 Heretic Seal.
Right, to search out the...
Searches out Esset.
Right.
Not really complicated. It's also not once per turn, so if they like ash it,
do it again.
just do it again. And then we have 3 copies of Lair of Darkness. Lair of Darkness, we all know what it does. It's really good for the deck, breaking boards. This deck's extremely flexible with space. You got like 10 slots. So I just chose to do this. You could play like an Orcus package or Invoked.
Got it.
And then we have 3 copies of Small War. Don't have the other 2, but this card is amazing for the deck because a lot of the cards are either light or dark, and they're reptiles, different levels, which essentially gives you 9 copies of each of the 2 FTK pieces.
Gotcha. All right, let's check out the extra deck.
We have best card in the game, Bishbaalkin.
All right, so this is our main enabler here.
Summons 5 tokens, and that's actually not even the crazy part of the effect. It gains attack equal to the number of cards on the field, which means you can burn for 8k with this card.
And what is the card that's going to let you do the burn?
We have Chronomaly Machu.
Right. Now, I think most people are relatively familiar with like the idea of this strategy. Give us like the super quick version.
You basically use Geonetic Transverser to swap Bishbaalkin and a token, and then use Bujinki Akashima to summon 2 level 5s in order to overlay for this and burn for 8k.
Nice.
That's the difference between its current attack and its original.
Wow. Okay.
And then we have Geomathematic Magma. This card is not needed for the FTK, but for the non-FTK line, you still do go into Bishbaalkin.
Got it.
So you do want to play this card to sync it with Mass Chameleon. And then we have 1 copy of Unchained Abomination.
Cool.
This card is crazy. It's just really good.
Yeah. And you play that when you're not going for the FTK, right?
Yes.
It's like a way of controlling the board state.
Not even that. It's a really strange combo piece, which will come up actually right now. So, Alien Shock Trooper M frame.
Oh, right. Okay, right. How's this work?
This card, you discard a card to place counters on the field.
Right.
Up to the level. So you would always search in the non-FTK, Ogdoadic, so you put 10 counters, so 2 on each card. And when it's specifically destroyed by a card effect, you get to soul charge for however many counters on the field. So what you can do is you can use Liz Draw while Abomination's on the field to pop itself, and because Liz Draw does pop itself, you can use Abomination's effect and pop the Shock Trooper and summon.
And then just reborn like crazy.
Summon 5.
Wow.
And then we have Slicer Zero.
Okay.
This card, no one knows what this thing does.
Yeah, I was gonna say The only time I saw this is when you played this deck against me. So what does this do?
Every card with an alien counter on it that's your opponent controls is put to defense position and cannot activate their effects. It's like a pseudo Mystic Mine almost.
Got it.
And it can also search a alien when summoned.
Okay.
And you can take 2 counters away from any side of the field to get an extra normal of a reptile.
Okay.
So that's how you get your extra normal of alien kit.
That is really good.
For the 1 card combo, the Nunu combo.
Got it.
And then for the FTK, we have 1 Bujinki and 1 Geonator.
Right. Just you need them both.
Bujinki summons the Part Naga from hand, which is a level 5, which also works with the 1 card because it's a pen scale. And it summons the Esset from grave, which is level 5.
Perfect.
Which gets you the Chronomaly, and Geonator swaps the Bishbaalkin.
Perfect.
And then we have Reptilian Echidna. She searches reptiles.
Right. Like pretty much half the deck, right?
Yeah. For every card with 0 attack that your opponent controls. And the Bishbaalkin tokens all have 0 attack.
Right.
So when you summon her, she does lock you into reptiles, but you make the Abomination beforehand.
Yep.
You then just search 5 reptiles.
Wow.
Which is it's always the 2 scales, 2 level 4s, and Abyss.
Holy smokes.
And then 1 copy of Reptile. You need to make a token, a reptile, in order to make a Echidna.
Got it.
So we have to play that card. Link Revo, because for the FTK, you do need to be able to link climb into Geonator. And you cannot use a token to make Geonator, so you just turn the token into Link Revo.
Got it.
King of the Feral Imps, because Searcher is crazy. And the last little package is the Numeron package. all the Ogdoadic, those 2 Ogdoadic level 8s that require 1 tribute, and 2 that require 2, which means going second, you can easily make Ogdoadic Abyss to board wipe,
Right.
and then tribute off the Abyss for a Curse, and Curse will bring back a level 4, and then you can tribute level 4, make the other level 8, and then just make the Numon Dragon and attack for 9k.
Exactly. So it's literally got a pathway that board wipes into over 8k damage, right?
Yeah, 9k.
Yeah, so there you go. Now, Chris, I want to ask you, before we wrap this up, what makes you think that this is the best variant of the Bishbaalkin FTK?
It's extremely consistent. In most of my testing, you did open the FTK about 75 to 80% of the time because of the small world and the number of names you have.
Yes.
But also, the chances of you not opening FTK, but opening Nunu is extremely high. There's almost never a scenario where you can open not a combo.
Gotcha.
Because you do have, the small worlds, the snake rains, and the Nunus. You have essentially 9 copies of Nunu as well. So even if you don't open FTK, you probably opened Nunu, which is still a really good emblem.
So you pretty much stay ready.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Chris, thank you so much for the profile.
For having me.
And I tell you what, guys, if we get a certain amount of likes on this video, we'll come back and show the combo tutorial. I'll bring Chris back on again, and we can get on to it. All right, guys, Logan YuGiOh sign off. Have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Peace.
四角そう四角い空心の隙間埋め